apple mint plant, agroplants.org, also known as Mentha suaveolens. So this hibiscus plant, it's a perennial evergreen. It grows for the edible leaves. The leaves are fragrant and of course very useful. Can use as ornamental plant. It can be a ground cover plant or attract a lot of pollinators. If you want to grow it, there is a link below, link in the right top side, and if you purchase it, this is donation for this channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And grow in variety of climate, Mediterranean, subtropical, or temperate climate. Can grow in hardiness zone from 5 to 10. Be aware that in 10B might do some problems, but will grow well. Just need to know how to take care. The leaves are edible, in green, some a little bit grayish can be, and velvet a little bit. Some cultivars can be green with white edges, and the leaf shape is heart shape, elliptic, depends the cultivar. Flowers are white and grow on stems on inflorescences. So how to grow it? Usually require moist soil with well drained and also rich soil. You should add fertilizer at least once a year with a high content of nitrogen. Nitrogen will help the plants will bloom less, and this is important if you want to harvest it. Flowers actually a little bit annoying and it's hard, make it harder to harvest. It makes the leaves smaller, and also it just make a lot of you need to have to cut things that you don't use, so it's take you much more time uh, than you wouldn't have the flowers. So you can start to grow it by cutting seeds or just plant. Also possible to bending the branch over and cover it with some soil. Stolons also possible. After a few leaves, just separate it from the mother plant and increase the amount of water in the first days. It will be enough. If you start by cuttings, possible to do it by water or just to do it by to put it on the soil. No need hormone. Possible to use it, but no need. Better to do it in the when the soil moist, and spring season will be the best. In hardiness zone of 10B, it's also possible to do it in the autumn. Keep high humidity and spray the plant with some water. It will help the plant to establish. Especially in the hot days, add extra water. It's not must to start by cutting, but it's easier and it ensures the cultivars that you will get. Be aware that this plant is aggressive and planting season will be in the spring, in hardiness zone from 5 to 7, spring to autumn in hardiness zone from 8 to 9, and spring to autumn in hardiness zone of 10B. Also in hardiness zone of 10B. It's possible even in the winter, but not in the coldest day. How to plant it? So dig a bigger holes in the root ball. Just mix it with a lot of organic matter and cover it lightly with the soil. Major pests are spider mites, thrips, and aphids. Pruning season will be possible all the year, better in the autumn to the winter, and of course blooming stem all the season, all the year. How to prune? So the pruning need to be aggressive. Cut the stem above something like 5 centimeters, so it's been 2 inch above the ground. Every stem that you start to bloom, better to prune it before it's bloom. All branches and dead parts, of course, to prune them, and pull out dead parts and reduce the amount of plants, especially if you grow it in a container. Usually after a few years, if it's too much crowded, again reduce the amount of plants, because it will have bad effects on the growing of the plants. Usually the height of the plant it's 30 centimeter, but can be from 30 to 80. centimeter. Here in harder, what I have here, it's actually like 10 centimeter above the ground, so I don't know why, but this is what I have here. It means like 4 to 32 inches. I think that usually the leaves are lower, not I think it's this is the reason, and but the flowers are stems are just go up. It's a fast growing plant in of course in a great condition and require average to big amount of water. Light condition will be full sun to half shade. The best I think it's almost full sun, 70% of sun will be great, because when you have too much sun, when you expose it to a lot of sun, it will bloom a lot and it attract a lot of pollinators, so this is good, but it's harder for harvesting and the leaves are smaller when you have so much flowers, so it's something to consider. Again, in a very cold climate, do it in full sun. It's not possible to grow it on as an indoor plant, but a lot of people do grow it on the window as a ledge plant, so this is something to consider. It's very nice when you grow it as a ledge on the window itself, so it's something very good. Direct sun, the plant will need a direct sun. It's possible to grow it in a container, pots. When you grow it in a container, size of the container better to have from 8 to 18 liters, so it means 2 to 5 gallons. Bigger it's better, and shallow and wider. Why? Because the roots are shallow, so it doesn't really need to go deep. No point, just a waste of space and soil. Every year that the plant exceed all the size of the container, better to cut part of the roots and part of the plant to reduce the amount of plants and let it grow again. It will grow without any problem again. It's of course to do it every few years. Switch the soil, use well ventilated soil with good drainage, rich soil with organic matter. You can use potting mix or peat soil with perlite or vermiculite. The plants require average amount of water and better to keep the soil lightly moist. Blooming season usually it's in the summer. In warmer climate like here, hardiness zone of 10B, can be also in the late spring to the autumn. Uh, the flowers again are white and attract a lot of bees, and it's highly recommend to just to cut all the bloom stem. The leaves, so harvest will be from spring to summer, hardiness zone from 5 to 9, spring to autumn in hardiness zone of 10. Also possible in the winter in hardiness zone of 10B. Cut them with the stem a few centimeters above the ground. It's good to divide the stem. If you have divided stem, after the stem divide, split, you just cut it a few centimeters above the split. The leaves are green, and usually you can use it as for salad or beverage. Also as a paste, it's possible. You can grow it by seeds, but highly do not recommend. You have more information in the website growplants.org. Usually the temperature better to have it from 20 to 26 Celsius degree, 68 to 79 Fahrenheit. The deep of the sowing it's 2 to 3 millimeters, so it means 0.1 inch. Keep the soil moist with full sun, average amount of water, don't let it dry. Usually it's take between 2 to 8 weeks to germinate. For general information, this is not very hard to grow it. It's actually very nice plant. You have a nice light, you have stronger or lighter flavor for the mint, so this is a lighter one. Again, depends the cultivar. Some are stronger, but it's not hard to grow and it's very useful plant in order to grow in your garden. This you don't really need a lot. Usually you put it and just prune it enough that the plant will be contained and not grow like crazy. That's all from growplants.org. Don't forget to subscribe, visit our website, and of course, if you have any question, just ask. You have here links about more videos, some lists, subscribe, and of course, purchase a plant, and this is donation for our channel. I hope you enjoy, and come visit us again.